Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back for the ABCs of Horror Challenge with my review of Quarantine. The ABCs of Horror is a challenge in which we make our way from A to Z, watching and reviewing horror movies that begin with each letter of the alphabet. We must go in order, and we cannot skip any letters, but we can do this at our own pace. I've arrived at the letter Q, and for me, in the ABCs of horror, Q is for Quarantine. Quarantine is a 2008 American remake of the 2007 Spanish horror film Wreck. I knew pretty much immediately when I started the ABCs of Horror Challenge that Quarantine would be the movie I reviewed for the letter Q. Compared to most other letters of the alphabet, there are not a lot of horror movies that begin with Q, although there are more than you probably realize. Even still, Quarantine was my pick from the get-go, and believe it or not, this was a first-time watch for me. This movie was wildly popular when it was released. I'm surprised I never saw it back then. Jennifer Carpenter plays television reporter Angela Vidal. She and her cameraman Scott have been assigned to spend the night shift with the Los Angeles Fire Department. Angela interviews the firefighters as Scott films their actions around the firehouse. Jay Hernandez plays one of the firefighters, and Jonathan Check plays another. There are other familiar faces in this movie as well. A young Joey King, for example. She plays the little girl Brianna. Fans of The Sopranos will also recognize Blanca. Responding to a 911 call, Angela and Scott join the fire crew on their emergency stop. This takes them to an old apartment building where police officers are already on the scene. Apparently, the tenants called when they heard a blood-curdling scream coming from one of the apartments. They soon find out a woman living in the building is infected with an unknown virus. Scott remains filming the entire time because Angela wants to make sure they catch it all on tape. When one of the officers is attacked by the sick woman, they attempt to leave to bring him to the hospital. That's when they learn that the doors to the building have been locked from the outside. The windows are sealed, and a SWAT team is camped outside of them. Anyone who tries to leave will be shot and killed. Based on orders from the CDC, everyone in the building is under quarantine. As the virus spreads rapidly, the inhabitants become bloodthirsty killers. Angela and Scott catch it all on camera as they try to survive. I can definitely understand why Quarantine was such a big hit. I watched this one with Jason, and I told him while we were watching it, had I seen this early enough, it probably would have made my top 2 for Tuesday Top Tuesday, if not at least my top 2 redo. The movie is really well paced and super intense. Jennifer Carpenter is great in her role as Angela. She's super cute in this and has such a fun personality. I really like her interactions with the firefighters. The old apartment building is awesome. It's a fantastic setting for something like this. As far as found footage films go, this is one of the better ones, in the sense that it actually makes sense that it's found footage. There aren't random shots where a camera shouldn't be. Scott, the cameraman, is filming everything for a reason, so it makes sense, and it works. The makeup effects are really cool. Quarantine offers some great jump scares. And the concept of the film is genuinely scary. To be trapped like experimental rats is a terrifying idea. It's like they're just abandoned because everyone is too afraid to go near them. Sort of reminds me of just a few years back. What else can I say? I liked this a lot, and I'm glad I didn't change my mind. I committed to Q being for quarantine in the ABCs of horror. Don't forget to check out everyone else participating in this challenge. And if you'd like to join in, please do. Just start with the letter A. Go in order and don't skip any letters. Have you seen Quarantine? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. Which horror movie beginning with the letter R will I watch and review for the ABCs of horror? Check back soon to find out. Until then, remember, physical media matters. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and be kind. Subscribe.